Welcome back, everybody. This is the thejonnymar, and I am continuing with my childhood revenge series as we take on and attempt to defeat Darkwing Duck for the NES. So you'll notice I am in the sewers, and that is because we are going to be going after the Liquidator, which is a dog who has turned into water. So we are going to be careful with these Sniper Joe wannabes and these stupid eggs kind of running all over the place. And that is the calling card of foul. Are eggs, because of course they are chickens and roosters, so they need to be using eggs all the time. So this level is interesting. There's a part in this level I'm going to have to edit probably. First of all, I'm going to use my arrow gas here, or attempt to, because there's an extra life up here. So there's some moving platforms in this level, and if you run the game normally on 60 frames per second, you get this really odd kind of twitch blur effect while on these green platforms. I'm deciding whether or not I want to include that because it is a little hard on the eyes to see. So what I might do is, if you're not seeing that twitch blur effect, I might actually go in and change all of the parts where I'm on those green platforms to just 30 frames per second. And if you drop it down to, half of its normal frame rate, it gets rid of that blur effect, which, isn't necessarily the way the game is supposed to be, but it's much easier to look at. So if you're seeing the blur effect, that means I didn't do it. If you're not seeing the blur effect, you're either watching the game on the default for YouTube in terms of the quality, which is only 30 frames per second, or you're on 60 frames per second and you're seeing the blur effect, which means I didn't do it. But if it's not there at 60 frames, then that means I took it out. I'll decide kind of in post after watching this back. But we are about halfway through this level already. Another aspect of this level to kind of keep in mind is that every level, I believe, in this game has a secret kind of bonus area. It's kind of dumb. It's not really useful. It just drops items. So you're kind of in this area in the middle of the screen. So we're going to take out these, I don't know what they are, kangaroos or of the like. And you just collect, diamonds, gold, extra lives, gas containers, etc. The first one is actually here in the middle here. So if you jump on this platform, there's this kangaroo guy. If you kill him and then jump and shoot in the air above him, a little go symbol will appear, and that will allow you to enter the bonus area. And so each level actually has one of these particular bonus areas, I think. And I don't know where all of them are, and again, they're kind of useless, so all they do is really give you extra gas or, bonus points, and the points are only worthwhile in the sense of extra lives. So I get plenty of extra lives. I don't think I need to do it, and because it kind of takes you back to the mid-checkpoint when you use them, I'm not going to necessarily do them. But what I might do is at the end of the video, either this video or maybe just the last video in the series, I'll show off one or two of those bonus levels so you can see kind of what they're like. But we are now at the end of the level, about to take on Liquidator. So his pattern is pretty easy to figure out. He just kind of goes back and forth turning to water, and you need to shoot him once he turns back into his dog form. And then he calls these kind of water things, these water fish, as I am almost dead. So much for an easy pattern. Cripes. Now if you use the arrow gas, obviously it does more damage, but it's a little harder to time. So I'm going to try to not die here. My goal is to try to beat the game, but also to not die on the bosses. I hope to do that with at least the regular bosses. Now, with Moriarty and the final boss, jeez, I can't make any guarantees because they are more difficult than these bosses. Wow, okay, there we go. Liquidator down. That's another of the fearsome 5 defeated. So we'll get our little point total here. Of course, if you hear a little jingle sound when the points are adding up, every 5,000, 10,000, etc., that means an extra life. But now we are to the second grouping of 3 levels. We're going to take on Bushroot out in the forest area outside of St. Canard. This is actually, well, all of these levels are frustrating in their own right. But this level has some pretty cool enemies. Very unique. These stupid plants that shoot their heads at you. And then, of course, dogs that are so big, they have to bust out of their houses because they cannot get out of them the normal way. Apparently, they kind of just stayed in those houses and continued to grow, and ended up getting stuck in them. Either that or Bushroot did some sort of genetic modifying to them while they were in the house. But we also have these birds. They take 2 shots to kill. If you kind of time it while you're on the vines, you can actually kill them without actually activating them, which is nice. But this level is all about kind of figuring out the timing of the various enemies. Because the birds, for example, are generally near a lot of pits, so if you don't really know how they operate, they can easily knock you off into the pits. And then, of course, these stupid plants, they can be annoying too in their timing. I don't like killing dogs. I like dogs, even bad dogs trying to kill me. So it always makes me feel a little bad. But I must move forward. I must defeat these enemies. I have to save St. Canard. And so nothing will get in my way, not even a puppy. So we are about at the halfway point of this level. You'll know you're at the halfway point when you start to see waterfalls. So there we go. And there is another kind of hidden area in this level where you can get to the bonus level, but you also can access some extra lives, which are good. I'm going to be collecting quite a few of the extra lives because the last boss, Steelbeak, is actually pretty tough. So I want to be very careful with him and make sure, I have enough lives in order to actually beat him. Now, one of these waterfalls actually drops down, so if you want to get this power up at the end, make sure that you kind of jump over it. And we do want as much arrow gas as possible, so I'm going to be collecting it whenever I see it. But here's where the bonus area or secret area is. If you head to the right here through the waterfall, there's a special life, and if you continue to the right, there's another area where you can jump and kill yourself. That was not intentional. That was an example of those hitboxes for the hanging areas. They're not always accurate or what you would expect them to be. But anyway, in that little secret area, if you continue to the right, all the way to the right, there's a dead end, and at the dead end you can actually jump and shoot, and you'll get another one of those go symbols to take you to a bonus game. But we're not going to do that. I'm just going to continue onward. We're going to get another new enemy here, and that is these oversized ducks, and then also these rats inside knight armor. So what you need to do with the rats is shoot their helmet off in order to damage them, and then hit them in the head. And with the ducks, you just have to shoot them twice. But here we are to Bushroot, one of the most frustrating bosses in the game, and that's just because he jumps so much over your projectiles. And then every time you hit him, he goes all the way up to the top, which you cannot reach, except there's a little bit of an exploit. So when the level starts, you're actually on top of the vines there, and if you jump instantly, like as soon as you gain control of Darkwing, you can actually reach the top vine, and then you can just hang there and jump and shoot at Bushroot, and there's actually a way to kill him pretty quickly. I am not good at timing that, so I just do it the old-fashioned way, which is a war of attrition. Dodging these stupid peas that are being thrown at us, shooting him when possible. Unfortunately, I used up all of my arrow gas because I kept missing him with his stupid jumping pattern. But it takes, again, about, 10-ish shots, about 15 maybe with the normal gas, and then about 6 or 7 with the arrow. So I hit him a few times with the arrow, which means I should be getting close here. Maybe 1 or 2 more shots. Yeah, there we go. So that is another of the Fearsome 5 defeated. We have 2 more levels to go before we take on the final level. So as always, viewers, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode as we continue onward with this wonderful platformer. And next time, we are going to be taking on the last 2 of the normal bosses, including my least favorite boss in the game, which is Moriarty. So see y'all next time. Take care.